Yeah, there we go. Nice and live. This is the way I like it.
Hello, everybody.
It's 9 o'clock on the dot, which means that it's time for Indie Volt. Greetings. We are here. You'll notice that Lola and I are adorned in our Indie Volt, our autism speech attire. I'm getting feedback all of a sudden. You notice that? Is someone watching us? All right, there we go. All right.
I'm muted. It's like a secondary voice coming through, like a police report, police radio.
Wouldn't be surprised if they are listening. All right, so let me get this set up. Hello, everybody out there. I got the radio set up. There we go. So we are ready. I think that we have. Okay, well, we have a couple of different countries now. That's cool. All right, so hello, everybody. Thanks for watching us. We're going to be with you for a few hours anyway, so you might as well. Randy, sir. Are you... There we go. Okay, yeah, you set the private public on your page.
Yeah, I have to go over there. I'll get it.
Yeah. Okay. Mike Benson in the house says, I am watching right now. Hey, Mike. Comic book black belt dropped in to finish my JD and say hi. Finishes JD. Is Jack Daniels? Jack Daniels.
I hope so. Yeah, I wouldn't want to think that he kidnapped Mr. Calderon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of face him off.
Or Mr. Rosario.
Yeah. Well, see, that's JD is JAYDEE. That's Rosario. Hail Peeps says Edwin. Hail Edwin.
Hail Edwin.
Yeah, so let's see here. Also, before we get into it, Randy, got some reading for you to do. Read that.
Hang on. Just answering a message here. All right. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Indie Volt Media, LLC, and do not reflect the official policy or position of any guest or sponsors. Viewer discretion is advised.
Which is very important because, man, I almost got in trouble last week.
You got some dirt?
I almost got in trouble last week. When you start getting sponsors, it's great. But
they caught you saying the P word again?
No, not the P word. It was they were like, hey, you need to make sure that you're saying that people know that, we're okay with sponsoring you, but some of the stuff that you guys talk about, that's the opinion of, people on the show. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll make sure that I mention that. I'll make sure that I mention that every time now. So yeah. It's very important that I mention. Crayola doesn't play.
We need to do one of those old style openings.
Yeah.
Indie Volt LiveWire, sponsored by Crayola.
Yes.
Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah.
The best mac and cheese in the world.
Yeah. We've been getting sponsors lately, and I'm very happy about that. But one of the things is that you start to realize there's certain things that you can't say, or you're held accountable for saying. So I'm gonna roll the intro. We'll get into it. Hail, Sugar Chris. Hail,
Sugar.
I'm gonna roll the intro. Here we go. I'm gonna flip it around a little bit this time. I'm gonna mix it up. Here we go.
Your body keeps calling, all systems recharging. Send a shockwave straight to my bones, like it's supernatural. Pulse dropping, black darkness. You get my heart started. Send a shockwave straight to my bones, like it's supernatural.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Indie Volt LiveWire. I am your host, founder of Indie Volt Media LLC, Variant Grant. That is I, the Trust Fund Kid.
You just keep adding titles. It's fascinating.
Yeah. It just keeps happening. I just found out that I was a Trust Fund Kid. I just found that out. I'm like, oh, okay.
So you're gonna buy me a new car to drive you around in? Is that?
Yeah. I'm a trust fund, baby. You can trust me.
Where are you hiding all the money?
Yeah. You know, well, I keep you out of the bank account because I know how that happens. I know what happens there. You're not getting a hold of the bank account. We can't have that. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I am joined, as always, by the lovely Indie Princess. Hello.
Hello, guys. I am the Indie Princess, and I am, the EIC of IndieVolt.com, the host of Geekgasm, and I am the creator and writer of Lore, which is launching March 31st on Indiegogo.
And I do want to bring up the fact that...
Did I forget anything?
No, you didn't forget anything. But I want to bring up the fact that...
the co-publisher of Black Claw Comics.
Well, yeah. But no one cares about your act like the thing is, I want to bring up the fact that Lola got... I went to go check. Anyway, everyone knows that we're in the middle of the awards, Indie Volt Awards. We're getting books. We're getting people submitting new stuff every day. So I go to the office in the P.O. box to pick up the new books. And there was a package waiting. And it said, it was for Lola, the Indie Princess. And I'm like, hey, let's get it. And I come home like, what is it? And they're shoes. And it's those ridiculous shoes she's wearing tonight. And though we don't know who sent them, I got a couple of suspects. And I will be
10 inches tall.
Yeah, they're 10 inches tall, and she stood up next to me, and I don't like feeling. I'm already short. I do not like feeling that short. So, yeah, that's ridiculous. But they actually work with tonight's theme with the autism shirt, so that's pretty cool. Couldn't plan that better. Joined as well by the talented, the legendary Randy Zim. Hello,
Legendary. Hey, how you doing? I promise you, I do not have rainbow shoes like that.
Did we mention the sponsor of the shoe cam?
Oh, IndieCron? Yeah. Sponsor.
We want to thank IndieCron for sponsoring that shoe cam.
Yeah, I've ruled him out as a suspect of who sent them. I've ruled him out because he was up there first, and then I'm like, maybe it's not him. It's not him. This had to come from someone else, someone more devious.
Can you actually walk in them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I made the mistake. I said on my Facebook, I made the mistake of once asking Lola why she can run, jump, and walk and heal so well, and how she acquired that skill set. And I regretted finding out. She's like, oh, your first job, huh? Okay. Right out of high school. Hey, I know what I'm gonna do. And yeah.
I was a dancer, nothing else.
But
some people might get a different idea.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Don't want to give people the wrong impression.
No, I was a dancer.
Speaking of the wrong impression, Mr. Zim.
Hey, everybody. That's right. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I've been doing comics for many, many years. Done everything you can imagine in the direct market, include retailing for a decade and coordinating conventions for even longer. Right now, I am EIC of Arrow Comics. Arrow Comics has returned, and we have our first Indiegogo up and running for Indie Volt Revolt, an anthology collection of great, talented folks that are listeners or contributors here on the program, all getting together into one book so that you can get an idea of the quality of work that we all do. Plus, I do the Sunday Funnies program here on Sunday morning, where we talk about the more lighthearted and whimsical side of comics this Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time here on Indie Volt. So you're on you're on about 3 shows now. It's a lot of shows, Randy. It's a lot of shows. Well, I'm here on this show. I'm on Thursday morning show and the Sunday morning show. Yeah.
And then sometimes we had to put on wigs and go on Geekgasm.
This week, I will be on Critical Blast. Also.
Sweet.
Tomorrow night, I got invited on to talk about the Indie Volt Revolt. And then on Monday night, I believe at 8 p.m., I am on William Pace's podcast, whichever one that is.
You watch it,
Nice.
William. He's a slick one. You watch him.
Is he slick?
I've been on William's show. It's a good time. Joined also by Dreaded Dinosaur, host of It Came From Webtoon and Tabs.
How's it going, everybody? Eric Hodson here, Dreaded Dinosaur, creator of Dreaded Dinosaur Man, which you can read for free on Webtoon and Tapas. And of course, as Varian mentioned, I host It Came From Webtoon. We had the wonderful Jose Garcia, superstar artist out there right now, who's got like 1,000 books he's working on simultaneously, I swear. Talked about his My 8-Bit story and his new crowdfunder, Luminavox, and the signups are still going strong for that, so check that out.
And now we got guests. We've got 3 guests. We'll be joined by a 4th one later on coming into. I'm gonna grill him too. I'm gonna grill him. Our 4th guest. I'm our 4th guest tonight. I'm gonna grill him. He deserves this. We got that. But right now, we'll talk about the guys we got here right now. We have Aaron Humphreys, Ben, the creator of Shark of War, which is one of the most clever titles in comics right now, and Claytex himself. But we're gonna let them introduce themselves much better than I can do it.
It's Claylex, not Claytex.
I don't know why I said Tex.
People keep saying the T is an L. It's very
It's the way the Y crosses over by the L.
Yeah, exactly.
I think from here it looks like Claytex, but
I know. Yeah, it's like that.
It sounds like you get that a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll let the gentlemen introduce themselves. They'll be much better at doing it than I am. So we'll start with Clay. Go ahead and do it, sir.
Oh, sorry. What do you want me to do?
Introduce yourself for our radio audience.
Okay. Well, I'm Claylex. I am indie creator, writer. I've written such stuff like Clayman, Hero of the 22nd Century. You can actually read. I got about 2 stories you can read on Tapas and Webtoons. They're pretty good. I'm surprised I was able to make them as good as I possibly could, despite my short tenure as a writer. It took me about a couple of years, but I was able to get it going. I'm gonna put them probably put the links in on the private chat. So then it's show them off. Hold on.
We'll get to that after the questions.
Okay.
Yeah. And who else do we have here joining us today? We got we got Aaron Humphreys. Aaron.
Yes.
Introduce yourself.
You want to know stuff about me?
Yeah, tell our audience.
No, our radio audience can't see you, so you need to tell them who you are. And what
I need to tell them. Okay, if the feed gets cut, I apologize in advance. I know usually when I come on the show, the cops are after me. No, I'm a creator of. I work for Silverline. I'm a creator of my own comic, Godlings, which I am finishing up this year. Issue 12 will be done, and then the whole thing will be done. And then I'm also the artist for Fire Rush, which is done by Silverline Comics, which we're doing a Kickstarter for it right now. Fire Rush and Twilight Grim. And if you're interested in that, go check it out. Just type in Fire Rush, go find it. Not hard to find. I write, illustrate. I do all my own stuff. And I also have kids' books out too. So I'm very offensive because I'm a kids' book writer. That's usually, I try to curse as much as I can, especially around the kids.
Just a goal you have?
It's a goal, and just man them up. No, I'm just kidding.
And Ben, introduce yourself, please. Right now, and I'll tell you guys. Well, you guys introduce yourselves, and then I'll tell you how many people listen on the radio. That way, you don't get nervous.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, my name's Ben Lacey. I'm the writer, creator, and artist of Shark of War. Issues 1 through 3 are now funding on Kickstarter at sharkofwar.bitingcomics.com. And it's about 84% funded, so I just need a little push to get over the hump. But that's my main comic book work right now.
Excellent. And we're going to be talking to you about that as well. We got Anthony Figueroa joining us a little bit later today. I'm going to grill him on his book. I'm going to grill him
a little drama today too.
Yeah, he did. So I'm going to grill him. It's going to be awesome. And then
God, that wasn't that much.
It was enough.
There was more after you and I talked, or what?
Yeah. The tweet got deleted, and then he kind of the person who put the tweet out kind of backpedaled and was like, yeah, he basically started jabbing like little like, well, yeah, I took the tweet down, but it's a shame that we can't call out people when they're doing nothing untoward was being done. It's not even that big a deal, but this person wanted to make it seem like it was, and we'll talk about that later though.
Yeah.
Let's get into one of the Indie Volt questions though, and I'm gonna let you guys discuss this as long as the question loads up, because my computer is like, no, it's actually not my computer. It's actually the internet or the website that I store all this stuff on. Here we go.
It's not going to go down again, is it?
No. We'll let you read it though, Randy. Here we go.
Gary, thanks for writing in. Crowdfunding sucks ass. It's not profitable long term for indie comics. I, for one, will be glad when creators find another avenue to get their comics to the masses. Gary.
You mean like Liberty Distribution?
Yeah, exactly.
That's one way. That's one way. Yeah. But I've seen this twice now. I've seen a question like this. Actually, this is the third time. I've seen a question like this twice today. I seen that Larry Higgins, who does Niobe, said that the crowdfunding model cannot last, will not last. He listed why he thinks that we need to start looking at other avenues for that. I don't want to take him out of context, but he was basically saying the same thing. And then Pops Van Zandt, who's in the chat, was saying that he doesn't think he would rather have the books in stores rather than waiting for crowdfunding. I think Pops told me he doesn't want to wait 3 years for your next issue.
I remember when they said that superhero movie was going to kill the entire genre and destroy superhero movies forever. There will never, ever be another superhero movie, and that Ryan Reynolds guy does not deserve to be Green Lantern.
Oh, you're talking about the Super Friends?
That too.
Because that stuff's intense.
Crowdfunding is dying. Oh no. The sky is falling.
As a matter of fact, there's Larry Higgins. There was the drama. Yeah. Larry says I want to get my combo to the asses. I think he meant masses, but he forgot.
No, I think I
forgot the
No, Larry meant asses. Listen, there's
he doesn't have to worry about that. He does Niobe.
There's two reasons why I think somebody would take this.
There's a lot of asses
this firm of approach towards crowdfunding. And the one is, you're kind of looking at market forces. There's an ebb and flow to everything like this. And I think what we're going to see is that more and more of the bigger names are going to be jumping into crowdfunding, which is happening, currently kind of happening right now. And a lot of the smaller guys like myself and the rest of us are going to get crowded out of crowdfunding at some point. That could happen. But another reason is maybe your comic sucked on there because it's crap.
Ouch.
I mean, I'm sorry, but not all campaigns are equal. Not all products are equal. At the end of the day, your comic is a product, and sometimes you got to look at it and say, I didn't do very well. Instead of getting butthurt about it, how can I pivot? Can I make something new? Is there a better idea, or how can I fix this so that it does work? So I just want to make sure that comes to light, because it's not always the system's fault. Sometimes it's the people using the system.
Mm-hmm. Fix it now.
I usually just think it's the timing. Most comics, let's say you put out issue 1, I think is it Indiegogo's got more graphic novels. I think Kickstarter works better for individual issues. I think that's what I've heard. But it just seems like if you put out issue 1 and then 4 months later you put out issue 2, memories are short. And unless you can put stuff out like that, like month after month, a week after week, people are just going to move on, especially in the day of the internet when there's so much stuff thrown at you. I think that's the biggest downfall for the creator. And of course, if the creators continuously, I've heard problems with people fulfilling orders, fulfilling Kickstarters or Indiegogos. If that continues to be a problem, then people are going to move on, because it's going to be like playing roulette. Well, I throw money down this book, but 50-50 chance it'll actually ever get to me. So, but that goes more on the creator side than the shoppers, but that eventually can affect people trusting what people say in their Kickstarters.
I can understand that. Anyone else want to weigh in on this question? Before you say that, though, I did want to say that Larry said what I asked, not said, was can 24-page floppies survive in the crowdfunding scene? Yeah, I think it was Pops who said that he wanted to be able to go to the store and pick up the books. He didn't want to crowdfund. But Gabby's Comic Con says, I think crowdfunding just the beginning. Go ahead, Randy. I'm sorry.
In my research, I found that Aaron is right. A lot of people on Kickstarter have a lot of issues. And the people on Indiegogo seem to sell graphic novels better. We're dealing, the market is ever evolving.
Yep.
As more people go out and find money, and as soon as somebody makes money, 5 other people want to make the same money. If you go back and see trends in comics, that has happened since the start of comic books in general, always. And it's always going to get watered down. It's always going to find another avenue to get around. It's like a flowing river. It's always going to flow one way or the other, and folks are always going to find a way to get around. The cool thing with comics history is that whenever somebody does end up getting screwed, there's somebody else that pops up and finds a way around it to make money.
Yeah.
So you just have to stay out there and keep looking and researching and figuring out your marketing. And there's any of a number of reasons why your crowdfunding didn't succeed. You know, and it's not necessarily that you have a bad product. It's your marketing. It could be the way you marketed it, the audience that you were able to reach, on and on and on. There's a lot of different reasons. And I'm starting to see a lot of people out there crying that crowdfunding has passed or jumped over some sort of bell curve, when I'm seeing exactly the opposite. If you go out and look at the overall number of successful campaigns and the level of quality of product out there, there's a lot of product out there that's being overlooked. And we knew that a year and a half ago, like when we had Anthony on with God's Hand, that there are books out there, and Russ Leach is another prime example with Only Death Can Save Us, where they have a top-notch quality product come out, and it doesn't do very well because not enough people see it.
Mm-hmm.
If people were to see it, they were to buy it. So there is a marketing problem in crowdfunding right now in visibility.
You got to pound the pavement. You've got to get on different YouTube shows, do your own thing on YouTube. You've got to look at other, areas of interest where you can bring in an audience. For myself, I put Dreaded Dinosaur Man on Webtoon and Tapas because that is a free place for people to see my product, to see if they like it. And, we'll see what happens when I launch my Indiegogo campaign later this year. Hopefully that audience will move over and support the print book. And then there could be people who just support the print book, and then they go back and they start supporting the Webtoon because they want to get more of the story involved. You've got to cover all of your bases. My goal is to have a presence on Webtoon always, and have a book in stores, and do crowdfunds, do everything. And if you don't have the energy for this, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you need to have a team working on it. Not everybody can be a one-man show. But I think the biggest problem that I know everybody has in common is you let your emotions get the best of you in these situations. If it didn't go well, pivot, fix it, work on it, look at it as a product. Don't get emotional over it, because that's going to cause you to make huge mistakes that could cause your indie press label to fall apart in front of your eyes, or it could, tarnish your brand, and then you'll never get to that issue too.
We're in the creative part of this industry. We're the creators. We are the creative people. We're a heck of a lot more creative than that mainstream. Instead of just sitting there and doing a crowdfunding that isn't successful and deciding it sucks ass, figure it out and make it better.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I totally forgot what I was going to say. Typical. Sorry.
I think some of these issues are unrelated to crowdfunding. I mean, if I sold my book in a store, I still wouldn't be, I'd still be putting it out every 3 or 4 months. I'd still have a small market. Those things are not related to crowdfunding, and they're just related to the fact that, I don't have a large team I'm working with to crank out a book every month. In theory, if I could, I could crowdfund a book every month or every 2 months and put it out there. If my audience was willing to go to the crowdfunding site, I think the advantage for crowdfunding for people like me is you can A, build an audience, and B, you can sell higher profit level products with your crowdfunding that you can't sell if you're just selling a $5 floppy at a store. You can sell your variant covers, you can sell, some original artwork perhaps, or I offer keychains and a few other things like that I wouldn't be selling if I had to rely on a store or something.
Yeah, but I think shouldn't it just be a part of the advertising? I mean, I think the one thing is people put so much stake in Kickstarters that I think shouldn't that just be one form of marketing or advertising? I mean, you should put it in the stores. You should get it, and it should Kickstarter should just be one thing. And I think people put all their eggs in one basket. If it doesn't work, oh well, then we can't. It's like, no, if the Kickstarter doesn't work, then put your stuff in stores or other places or whatever. I still, conventions. I still sell the most at conventions. That'll always be true. But then again, I can talk to people more and get people excited or whatever. I will admit that Kickstarters put the spotlight on you, so you're not trying to fight for attention in a crowded store or at a convention. But I think the one thing that's hurting Kickstarter is just the amount of them. I mean, to the point where when you used to see a Kickstarter on Facebook or whatever, like, oh, a Kickstarter, now a lot of people scroll past them because you see them so many of them and they keep going by and you just scroll past them. So you don't care. You don't care anymore. And once that becomes common that you're just going by and not really, oh, another Kickstarter, whatever, then, unless you have art. I mean, I've clicked on some that like the art or whatever, but there's a lot of them where I'm just like, okay, I've seen it or whatever. And I can even kind of tell, I can even sometimes kind of tell, like, well, they'll sell an issue 1, and maybe this is just me, and it's not a knock against all the indie creators, but I can certainly see, like, wow, they're Kickstarter issue 1, and from the looks of it, that's all they will ever do. They will never get the issue 2 just because they'll quit, they'll stop. You can kind of see that, especially in the the hot girl books, which is like run rampant across Facebook and all that. Like, yeah, that'll be the only issue you'll ever see of that. So
I think that what I've done is I went and created a distribution company for indie comics, Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group, and we don't, we were very modest. How we started. Started over 5 years ago, and it was a lot of testing, a lot of trial and error. We built a nice group of our retailers across the country. Just crossed over. We're nearing 60 stores now. Not one in every state. I wish that was true. Wish it was one in every state. It's not. But we offer a lot of different things. One of the things we have something called a Liberty Pledge, where the stores can get their money back if they don't. If they get a book and that book doesn't sell, Liberty is willing to buy that book back from the store. Yeah. And it's not. And so the retailer has the safety net that he knows that if that indie book doesn't sell, he's not stuck having to clearance it off or something like that. He can give it back to Liberty, and we're going to get that book somewhere that it can be sold because we need that book to sell as well.
Right.
That's one thing that's called Liberty Pledge, and that's one of the key factors that I think makes Liberty special from other distribution companies, especially distribution companies that focus on indie comics. In the chat there. Mary Machine Gun says, we talked about this earlier. I would love to see books in stores, but printing and costs make it restrictive. Getting down to one book a quarter is the goal. One book a quarter would be nice. I mean, you get 4 books out a year of a title. And as long as it's like, I kind of wish it was a bigger book, like maybe 2 issues worth. That'd be kind of cool. But Comic Book Black Belt says, fulfill, entertain, respect, and make good books. You have to hustle. Tyler Carpenter from Drawing Talk is loving this discussion. Comic Talk with Postman says, I will back campaigns on both sides. I won't like it. I'll keep pitching some books to my local comic store. It takes everyone, retailers, creators, and fans to make this work. You need a product, not a project. Crowdfunding is the red carpet premiere, then get it out to the masses. That's the cable network deal. Give each audience what they want. Tyler says, if you as a creator are using Kickstarter to build an audience, you're doing it wrong. You need to build an audience first and then bring them to Kickstarter.
Amen, Tyler.
Mary Machine Gun says issue 2. Mary Machine Gun issue 2 June. That's from the death of a small publisher.
Morning, Joe.
Small press
Or
publisher.
evening, Joe. From a
Evening,
small
Joe.
death of a small press publisher. No.
Mary's books are around 40 pages. Yeah, I can deal with that. 40 pages.
Yeah.
Jake in the house. Hello. Luke Stone. What's up, gang?
Hey, Luke.
Yeah. So there's so everyone's jumping into the chat. Appreciate it, guys. Anybody else want to say anything else to Gary, who's listening probably on Indie Volt Radio? Who I want to thank everybody, the 61,411 people listening right now, Indie Volt Radio, across multi-platform. We want to thank our friends in Mexico listening right now. We want to thank Germany, and we want to thank Ireland. Thank you, guys. Almost St. Patty's Day. Almost time for me to get drunk and start drinking in the morning, just tossing them back.
Well, thank you, Gary, for sending in your question. That's what I'll say.
Don't give up. Don't give up, Gary. There is a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Have the will. Figure out how to make it work for you. Maybe crowdfunding is not the way you should go. Tyler Carpenter is a good example of that. He stopped crowdfunding and went to Webtoons in order to try to build an audience.
He had a successful crowdfund.
And he had a successful crowdfunding. Yeah.
He gave the money back because he believes in the audience that he's going to. So
yeah, I was actually I'm attempting to do something different with my comic apart from I'll get the crowdfunding eventually, but since I have 12 issues, 12 months in the year, I'm actually going to hit up my local comic shops to release an issue a month.
Yeah.
So, and since it's all done, it'll be guaranteed. The store will have all the issues, and so that way, my idea is hopefully I can entice box customers to get it for a year, because it'll guaranteed to be there every month.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then hopefully that'll build credibility and stuff. So I have some other avenues that if that gives anyone out their ideas about how to do their comic or whatever, I think that is the one thing that kind of hurts comics is lateness. I mean, it'd be like if you bought a book and read chapter 1 of a book, and then 6 months later, somebody gave you chapter 2. You'd be like, what happened in chapter 1? I don't remember. So it's like, you got to keep consistency. I think is the one thing that will help build you. And maybe that means taking time out and finishing an entire project before you pitch it. Instead of pitching issue 1, finish the entire thing and then start pitching it.
I mean, we all remember the 90s when Image first started up. The lateness was everywhere with those books.
Yep.
And it just kills it.
Yes, it does.
And let me, I'm bringing the next question here, and this is going to upset everyone. Okay? Won't upset me. It's going to
hang on, everybody. Varian loves to trigger people, by the way, just so you know. If you can find your button.
I do. I normally, I'm a good button finder.
Not bucket, button.
Is that button finder? Button finder.
The buckets usually find you. Taylor G. Why are these indie books so damn expensive? 15 speckies for a 32-page book. This is why I'm actually happy to scan and share indie books. You creators are getting greedy. The mainstream books you claim to be better than are cheaper and more professionally put together than your rubbish.
I really want to speak to this.
Taylor G. Speak.
Yeah, I really think about this a lot because, on Kickstarter, I noticed that the prices, are high. Some of it, it's obvious because, you got to include shipping, and that alone throws up your price. But, I'm constantly trying to think, I can't charge, $4 or $5 for my book on a Kickstarter. So I'm constantly trying to think of other ways to give value. So on my, my $12 get the book level, which is my where you can get the actual copy of the book, $12. You also get the 3 digital expanded editions. You get a fridge magnet, and you get some other extras and stuff that aren't going to the people who buy the book from me at a con for the $5. So I'm always trying to think of how to give more value. The price can't be as cheap. But that doesn't mean you can't give, value enough to make up for those price differences. One thing on my Kickstarter, if you go to the page, is I have if anybody pledges over $20, they get a shark tooth fossil, which would cost you at least, probably $5 or $6 alone if you bought it yourself. So I'm trying to, I have to charge more, but I'm trying to give more too.
Yeah, I think it comes down to. I remember somebody told me years ago. I'm trying to remember what context was. I was selling my comic and he's selling it for cheap. And he looked at me, he's like, "Don't worry about the price so much because if somebody really wants your stuff, they will pay for it."
Mhm.
And I think that comes with quality, the quality factor, whatever. But I just think, if you're complaining that I had to spend $15 for a 32-page book, then you probably just didn't really want that in the first place. Move on. Simple as that. There's lots of stuff that I bought that is, let's just say I have a very favorite Japanese metal band that I like. I paid almost $100 to get a CD from Japan because I really wanted it, but that was shipping and cost and all of that. And it came with a shirt and stuff. So I mean, it's kind of like, do I really want it? Yeah, and so I paid for it. Most people think that's nuts, but again, it just comes with who you want. If you put out amazingly good work, people are going to buy it. It doesn't matter the price. And it doesn't have to be, and of course, that's an eye of the beholder too, because there's lots of stuff that I've seen that I don't like that other people just love. So,
Yeah, I mean, you have to market also to a price, a variety of price ranges. I mean, I have a digital edition for $5, but I also have variant covers, for 25 that, and some people took, all of them, which is very nice for me. But, there's only one or two people who are going to, buy your highest end and stuff. So,
right.
So I think indie books that are thinking about this and can't compete in terms of price alone, but I think a combination you can compete.
Right.
Yeah, and I think Mary Machine Gun in the comments here. This is definitely something that needs to be said. If you get pages at $85 complete, so that's penciled, inked, colored, lettered, that makes it $3,400 to create the interiors, covers, etc. It ends up being about $4,000. With a new book, you have to hope for 100 backers. And this is something that a lot of people who are, the audience doesn't realize, that not everybody who is doing this as a one-man band can do all the jobs, take it on the chin in terms of the value of their time spent doing this in the hopes of putting this out. Sometimes you're part of a team. You got bills to pay. You draw for a living. You letter comics for a living. You color for a living. You got bills to pay. You have a certain amount of dollars that you need to make per hour to live, to exist. So I wouldn't come to Taylor G's job and ask him to work less because I think he's being greedy. Something like in those veins. So, like for myself, if I have to, I can do all the jobs, but I would love to spread that around and give an opportunity to other creators who I think have got massive amounts of ability, who I think can elevate my brand. I would love to give them money and help them, I do that, elevate my brand. If I can afford to do that, I'm going to. But, again, we're coming back to terms where somebody is thinking of it just on their consumerism side, but we have to think of this as a business. And, it costs money to make money, and you get the quality that you pay for.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, I do sell my comics for $5, but I make like not even $1 in profit, just not to reprint more books.
But guys, my boy Taylor G here is scanning our shit.
I would say, one, if he goes out of his way to scan my stuff, wow, how flattering that is, considering all the books out there. And second, it's not necessarily, I'd rather he not do that. But then again, I know this is kind of a weird segue, but you look at the video game Doom, which is a huge franchise, was actually distributed as free software. And then got popular and started making money. So there's a good, stupid, out-of-the-wall $1,000 chance that maybe he'll scan my stuff and get popular, and they'll go back and buy my stuff. That's a long shot. But hey, I can dream, can I?
For $8, you can get all three of the digital editions of my books, and you can just send them wherever they want because I don't encode my PDFs or anything. So
I just ask him that if he scans my stuff,
you can send them. You don't have to scan at all.
Guys, I got to tell you guys, I got a scanner that's expressly meant for scanning comics, and I get picked on about it. One of our former sponsors, they're not former in a bad way. They're on and off again. They'll sponsor us for 3 months and they'll leave, then they'll come back and they'll sponsor us again. And they make a scanner that is expressly for scanning things that usually are kind of cumbersome to scan.
It's
And
got, it's got curve flattening technology.
that's right. That's right. That's right. And it's a really nice piece of equipment. It's sitting right over there, as a matter of fact. But it's a really nice piece of equipment. It took a while to get to me because of COVID. And then once that happened, I kept it outside for a while. I'm like, no, you can sit on the porch. It's not coming in here. It came from China. I'm not bringing it in the house. But I was scared. I was nervous. You guys, let's talk about your guys' campaigns. But before
no, we're not done with Taylor yet.
Oh, okay.
You just brought up the fact he was scanning books. Nobody had even seen that, had even considered that. They were all explaining to Taylor why, or justifying how that they can save money by buying their stuff, which is legitimate. But the things that Taylor doesn't take into consideration is he's comparing apples and oranges when he compares the large corporate mainstream books that they can spread their copies or their prices across 40,000 books if they're decent, 20,000 books if they're badly done. If you look and see how many backers and how many actual copies that a lot of these campaigns are moving, they're lucky if they're moving 1,000. They're probably moving hundreds, and your per unit cost expenses go way up, Taylor. And everybody who complains about crowdfunding campaigns really needs to get themselves an education in publishing, because print on demand and mass web press publishing are two completely different things. Yeah. You can print 3,000 copies of a book on a large web press cheaper than you can printing 250 copies from a print on demand, some of these print on demand publishers. And you have to take that into consideration. A lot of times these campaigns are incredibly small. They're specialty items. It's almost like whining that this painting costs so much when I can buy this print. Mm-hmm. And that's literally the differences that we're talking about, Taylor. You really need to get an education about why everything costs so much. And yes, I'll be the first one to tell you that 15 Spankies for a 32-page book is high. And it shouldn't be like that. But right now, if you want the quality, you're going to pay the Spankies.
That's it. They're officially called Spankies now. On this show, don't want to use the term dollars. They're Spankies.
Well, not only this, but if people didn't scan and pirate the stuff, and people bought everything, the price of comics would come down.
That is such a minuscule microcosm, even smaller than crowdfunding. Are the people that are sharing this kind of stuff? You're always going to have cheap asses out there who try to cut the system, and it can't be helped. It's just a matter of greed and a lack of ethics on the part of people that scan and give their stuff away. But the specialty books have to be looked at differently than the mainstream mass-produced books. And when you compare qualities, that's a matter of taste. As far as if you really love Squirrel Girl, good for you. If you like, let's pull a name out of the hat, Kelly Sue McConaughey's writing, awesome. Go buy her stuff. Obviously, she is not succeeding because her books are constantly being canceled on the mainstream, even though the numbers that she is selling would make a happy crowdfunder. Go and get an education, Taylor, about the market, and then come back and tell us how ashamed you are that you're cutting into these specialty item books by scanning them and sharing them with other people. Go out and scan some Squirrel Girls and see if you can give that away. Do it. See what happens.
Now, I did want to say in the chat, we got a couple people talking. So John Talk says, here's the thing. Yes, we're crazy, but he is also the customer. This is a legit concern besides the scanning part. So is there a way for us creators to make it a good price for the customer? I believe so, but let's hear the panel. And
well, the big thing to do when you're crowdfunding is I think graphic novels. And I think Aaron mentioned that before. You really need to give a value for your buck. Mm-hmm. You absolutely, or for your Spanky, I should say. You absolutely should.
Show me the Spankies.
And again, this ties back to what I said earlier. We're in the creative side of this market. We need to get creative. I keep saying over and over again, you don't have to do the same comic in the same dimension with the same page count just so it can fit a bag and a board, because those days are over. This is the time for all of us to be creative, find new formats, find new ways of distribution, find new ways to get inexpensive, accessible comics out to people in order to expand the market. And then there's room for everybody here. Everybody who's doing the specialty book, every kind of specialty book that you can imagine should be out there. You go to any other country other than here or this continent pretty much, and you'll see comics about everything.
Yeah.
And you don't see that here, and you should, because we've grown up in such a superhero male power fantasy dominated market that it needs to get the walls kicked out from underneath it and expand. It really does. There's room for all this stuff. In fact, there's not enough Conan Barbarian books on the market right now, in my opinion. But there you have to go out and expand those markets, and go out and find your audience.
Dominic says, Randy, yes, any comics price do not reflect the printing industry, even digital printing. Painting should be less expensive. Comics should be more expensive. Drawn Talk says, true, but many customers complain about the price. So we as creators need to not dismiss this and figure it out. Eric Hawkins says his next campaign will feature Spankies.
All right, Hawkins.
I think sometimes the best way for people to if some of these guys would just take a moment out to actually either create their own comic, go through the process of creating it, they would whine the fact that they're selling for $15. They would start to cry. When you look how much effort, because I do everything myself. I mean, it takes me a month and a half to do it, but most people it doesn't. I mean, it takes a lot of work to do these, and you're thinking, oh, it's $15. You're like, man, I'm just selling this for $50 amount of work I put into this. Mm-hmm. And I think, but that's something that the customers don't see, because they don't factor that into it. I mean, especially when people balk at like video games, the other pop market. Like, why is it $6 for video games of this? I'm like, because it took people thousands of hours and thousands of hours to make this little game that you finish and then bitch that it's this expensive. It's like, well, because every time I talk to my creative friends, they all had the same thing. $15, man, that's cheap.
I remember when I was younger and I had all these subscriptions to these magazines and GamePro. Someone wrote into GamePro and they asked, "Hey, how come the games are so expensive?" And GamePro reached out to a developer, and the developer said, "Well, you have to understand that everything's rolled into the price of that game, not just development hours, but the packaging, the booklets you get that cost money to get printed." The shipping to stores costs money, but see at this time, this was like the Super Nintendo era, so we still got like the instruction booklet was something you could take to school to prove to your friends you had the game, and they were interesting because they would put I remember the Mortal Kombat instruction booklet had like a little mini comic in it. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I remember that. Yeah,
it had a little mini comic in the instruction booklet, so that was cool. But then they started. The instruction booklets, they used to be full color. They became black and white. Then they end up being one sheet. Now you don't even get an instruction booklet. Now you don't get anything. You get a case. And now we reach this era where we're actually downloading the games, and they cost the exact same amount as they would if you go in the store. So with the app for my my publishing company, Last Call Comics, what we did with the digital comics on the app is that one, you got to have a store. But they're cheaper. They're cheaper than the physical versions because I don't feel it's right to charge a customer $5.99 or $5 for the digital version of that book. And it's not right. I don't feel it was right. So but anyway, that's just my little, that's my segue to get to the talking about you guys' books and you guys' projects. However, I did want to go into one thing that Destin from Small Press Publisher says the goal is to have it produced so that it can be made available to the masses on other market spaces. Crowdfunding is first opportunity to invest in series where you get a premium in product for money. That's a good point. Drone Talk says, listen, y'all would be shocked to hear the printing quotes I got on my last campaign, the campaign that I canceled. My graphic novel I was selling for $12 on Kickstarter. It's possible, creators.
Yeah, and you really have to shop around and look at teaming up with other creators and get a gang run on presses that brings down the cost dramatically.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a premium item for my upcoming campaign, and if I can wait till another order comes in for a similar product, my cost goes in half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Grant Lankard, who needs to come on here because he's got Beowulf. I've been trying to set it up with Grant. So
Come on, Grant.
come on here. Yeah. These grants, man, I don't know how to deal with them. And Common Talk says, if you could bankroll a 40K print run, you could sell them cheap too.
Yep.
Well, it's easy for trust fund kid like me to bankroll that type of stuff.
But you also have to remember like the cost of paying back the printer. So this is why people balk about black and white. So I don't know if the prices are still this way today. Print a black and white, $400 or $500 for like $1,000. Once you add color to it, just add color, it skyrockets to about $1,000, $2,000, easy. And I'm being generous on that estimate.
Yeah.
Now imagine selling your comics at $5 or $15 a pop. Imagine how many you'd have to sell to recoup back the prices for a $2,000 print run. I mean, if you start doing the math, then you're like, why would anybody even do this? And sometimes just like maybe customers should be happy you have comics in the first place, considering how many we have to sell to even recoup the cost back to do this, to put in your hand. So, but yeah, you basically go into a lot of debt just to make a comic, which you have no idea if you recoup that cost. In other words, if you brought this to a bank for a loan, they'd laugh at you.
Yeah.
Go away. It's like, no.
Get out of here with those comics. I want to talk. I want to bring up some comics though. Let's look at from Webtoon. I just came across a book. I didn't just come across it. It was in the private chat. I'm going to bring it up for you guys, and we're going to let Claylix tell us about it. This is his book.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm flustered already. The cheeks are starting to become red.
Oh, no. Here we go. Now, Clayman and Demon Hunter Raven. I gotta tell you, I like the design of Clayman.
Yeah.
That's a cosplay waiting to happen, man.
Cosplay by me.
Let's tell us about Clayman.
So Clayman was an idea, no joke, and this is the funniest thing. People keep laughing over this. I was working out in my basement back in 2018, working up a hard sweat, doing all the other stuff, and I shot up. My head was like, "You got to make a comic book. Your friends are making comic books. You're starting to get jelly. You got to like get going." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." So it's like I finished up, took a shower, and I was like, and I just started typing away, until my hands cramped. And then I just like started showing it off, and then like my friends were like, okay, that's cool. You just gotta get an image going. I was like, and this was kind of noob me, so I didn't realize, I actually need reference pictures to get this going. So I just like let's see, I went with this other guy, and he just like kind of winged the design at first, and I'm like, oh my god, I love this. This is really, really good. And then my friend Jacob, I won a contest, like a little digital art thing, and then I got a free drawing from him. He made his hood design. I was like, oh my god, I love this. And then like his the art was starting to get better because I was like, getting in contact with better and better artists. And then finally it was like I went with this kind of smallish Twitter account, Ivan Fiorelli, and I was like, okay, this guy's art is really, really cool. Reminds me of like Yusuke Murata's One Punch Man. Maybe I'll get him to do like the artwork for Clayman. And yeah, having a manic rain episode is amazing. Yep, it is. Like you get the cold sweats. You can't think of anybody but this writing. You ignore the tapping in your door, asking if you're all right. You're like, I am all right. I'm just writing gold here with my fingers. And then but anyways, back to my story. It was like basically I haven't made it, and I'm like, yeah, this guy, he's gonna be the one to draw Clayman. And overall the rest is history. But then but I guess like the last two things was like I said, one of my friends like made this other comic. I think what was it called, Tom and Artie, and I was like, oh, that artist is really cool. I wonder if I can hire her. And then I did, and I made the one shot comic. People really, really enjoyed that. I put it on Tapas, free webcomic thing. And then my friend Nicholas, who did Demon Hunter Raven, who's done I think 3 successful campaigns so far on his side of things, he came up to me randomly and was like, hey, dude, I'll let you write this really cool crossover for the two of us. I'd be like, really? He's like, you don't want me to pay you for this? It's like, no, it's fine. Well, it's like, call it a freebie. He's like, all right. And then we did it, and was really, really good. And we are planning a part 2 later this year, so that's pretty cool.
I have a question. This character here, I'm offended. I'm offended. The bad guy here is talking raccoon now as the owner of the raccoon hat, as the owner of the silver spoon raccoon. I don't like the fact that you're beating up on a raccoon. I'm upset. I'm offended.
That's what I realized. Yeah, I realized when I made the first arc. I actually finished writing the entire arc of Clayman. Like the first 7 issues I wrote. I'm like, don't want to try to spoil, but like, even though yes, he does put up a good fight, he does get his ass beat by raccoons. So it is kind of even Steven on that. But he does get his revenge later in the second arc, so watch out for that.
Nobody beats up the silver spoon raccoon. Nobody.
Only
we're here on Webtoon, and I didn't know you were on Webtoon, but I did know you were on Tapas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I had seen you pop in my Twitter feed, and then I put Dinosaur Man on Tapas and saw that you had subbed, and I went and looked at yours, and it was hilarious.
I know, like people, and like the thing is, like it was very again, this was a lot of first timer stuff, but it's like originally I didn't. My brain was at my heart. Sorry, no, my brain was like, oh my god, this good. But then my heart was like, oh wait, no, his mouth isn't supposed to be moving. But then I realized, I'll just let it slide. This is a first time comic type of thing. It really like put in the aesthetic that like, it's just a bit, in her style. So I was like, I'll just let her do whatever with the comic. But people keep thinking it's a bit more it's going to be more parody than anything else. I'm like, I'm working on a comic like in a parody style, but Clayman's not really it's not like going to be the Tick, or it's not going to be like the Max, even though the Max is more like psychological, insane type of thing than is a parody on the superhero genre. But Clayman's just like, if people like the superhero genre, they'll like this.
You can have the snark and humor without it being a parody. One of the great things about early Spider-Man was that magical snark that he had.
Yeah,
so I think you're closer to that than something that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I like too, is because people like comparing him to Spider-Man or Batman Beyond. They definitely say like I said, they keep saying that he's like the Max. I'm like, yeah. Because the smile, the mouth type thing, I got from his mask, so I did it like that. Also, like
scroll up, Marion.
Yeah, some people said Deku for My Hero Academia, and I'd be like, yeah, you caught me. I used that mouth too. So,
I was gonna say that. I remember reading the Spider-Man book, and I forget which character was whooping. Like it was during I think it started Civil War, and I forget who it was, but they grabbed Spider-Man's forearm, and Spider-Man's
Winter Soldier. Yeah, Winter Soldier.
No, this is in the comics.
Right, that's right.
And he breaks his forearm. He breaks Spider-Man's forearm. He's like, yeah, always with the funny. And I remember saying, you know what? Reading that, and I said, Spider-Man had that shit coming, because I remember thinking like because he talks so much crap to these villains, he had that shit coming. And I showed it to a friend of mine. I said, read this page, and he read it, and he stopped at that, and he said, "Oh, it's funny. Yeah, Spider-Man needed that." And we thought Spider-Man deserved to. He's always talking crap. We're getting his ass, we're beating somebody's ass. You can't beat my ass and talk shit. You can't. I need, you beat my ass. You can't talk crap, and that's the problem with Spider-Man. He talks crap. Joined. We're getting joined, by the way, guys, by the
one and only.
Yeah, rookie sensation. Yeah, coming off the rookie award. Pops Van Zandt has joined us. How's it going, rookie of the year?
Is that Wookiee of the year?
Rookie.
Wookiee of the year.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. He is quite hairy, though. He's quite hairy. Are you there, Pops? There he is, the rookie of the year. Pops Van Zandt.
How's it going, Pops?
On behalf of all my fans, thank you very much.
Both of them.
Yeah, he's here. Joined us to talk about some of these comics, but we right now are looking at Clayman. Which now the art style for this one is a little bit different than what we just seen. A little more playful. I definitely like it. Now I'm not over it on tap, as Eric has been trying to convince me to head on over, but
yeah, I really like the art style for this. For your
Yeah,
Clayman.
it's if people do want to follow the artist on Twitter, her name is Sky Sunny MQ. She's like done various work. She's probably, I consider her at least like top 10 best colorists on the indie market right now.
I used to follow her.
Now you're running an Indiegogo campaign too, aren't you?
Me, I'd be like, yeah, good question. It's like, well, first of all, it is finished, but don't worry, it has been completed, but right now it's okay. Explain. Basically, like, we're working on reworking the lettering because like a fan looked at it, was like, hey, I don't mean to be a downer. It's like, would you mind if you could get this like reworked before print? And I'd be like, sure, why not? I could pay out of pocket for this, because I want to make this the best I possibly can for my audience. So like, again, it's no issue for me. But other than that, yeah, we'll like get the digital stuff reworked, send it back to the backers, then we'll start doing physicals and same old.
Well, it looks really good. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. Like if people like this style from Clayman, like I said, I am making a comic book series later down the road with this style in mind. And I am working with Sonny, so there's that too on that comic.
I remember Marvel's Mini Marvels.
Yeah.
The person look reminds me a little of the old Mini Marvels. I used to really like those. The humorists.
I joke with Eric about Webtoon, but at the same time, I do have my little Webtoon lanyard that I was given at a con. Like, yeah, you're in Webtoon, here, take this, take our lanyard. Awesome, you're good. Now trying to convince me to go over to Tapas. Tapas and give me a lanyard. Anyway, Tapas gives me a lanyard. I'll try to talk about that stuff. It'll be great. You can check out the Clayman one shot over on Tapas, as well as the rest of Clayman over at you got it at Tapas and you got it at Webtoon. So you can go and check those out. I will put the links in the chat for everyone to go check those out, and you can check. You can read that book and see what Claylex is up to next with Clayman, which I like that name too. He's got that's pretty cool. Are you gonna have him on? It came from Webtoon soon, Eric?
Yeah, I think we can definitely arrange that. That'd be good.
Yeah, we can. I know that generally we have people on that came from Webtoon. Some people seem like we were talking about it. Some people want to hide. They don't. There's a lot of these digital artists. They don't want to go out and promote their work. But Clay here seems like he has no problem doing that. So we can get him to come out and good shit. Let anybody in this place now. Sorry, I'm just saying. I'm looking in the.
I didn't know you were ignoring him on purpose.
Yeah, man. Yeah, who sent him the invite? Christ. All right. JD Calderon. There's JD Calderon in the house.
What's up, people? How you doing, Aaron? Long time no see.
Long time. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. How you doing, Pops? Dread.
Good. Yourself?
Claylex, Ben, Randy.
Doing all right.
Lola.
Yeah.
Varian, there you are. I didn't see you in the corner. Just hiding up there.
So we're gonna move to the next book here, which is from Aaron Humphreys. And look at his Kickstarter campaign he's got up here. I'm going to bring it up here because my computer has decided to show me not my mother's page.
That's that.
So-
You load too much porn on your computer, dude.
Yeah,
Well, I make sure the porn. I make sure the porn isn't up when I'm doing this show. The last thing I need is that to pop up and everyone sees it, and everyone has this like, oh my goodness. So here we go. Silverline double feature: Twilight Grim and Friar Rush. $1,695 of a $2,500 goal. 12 days left to go. Can I play the intro? Can I play the video?
yeah.
Make sure you've clicked music, sound.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Roland, and I'm the chief cook and bottle washer at Silverline Comics, the genre-spanning independent comic and graphic novel publisher.
It's rolling.
I'm here to tell you about our newest double feature. 1, 2. Yes, that means you get 2 sweet new comics. But before I give you more details, I have to let you know, particularly in this day of unfulfilled comic crowdfunders, that Silverline is 9 for 9 fulfilling our Kickstarters on time. That's right, on time. Much of the reason for that success is because our comics are finished. They're completely done. We might have a correction here or there, or we might need to finish coloring a cover, but the materials are 100% done. We just need you to help us get the funds to print and ship. Well, come on. Let me tell you about the comics now. Twilight Grim is set in the city of Hallowed Heights, a town divided by a great wall. On one side of the wall live the upper and middle class humans. On the other side of the wall, called the Blood Zone, live the lower class humans and vampires. There are no laws protecting the humans who live in the Blood Zone. The only thing protecting them from death at the hands of vampires is the mysterious and violent young man named Twilight Grim. But the treaty which created the wall may soon be broken, and the city may fall into an all-out war between vampires and humans. Friar Rush is the story of a 15th century trickster demon of the same name, trapped in the modern world of New Orleans. He is devoted to corrupting men and women of the cloth and plans to devastate the masses by manipulating a corrupt televangelist. But reporter Jake McGlover and the cursed nun Seraph race against the clock and a rock concert to avert his plans. Cool, huh? Yeah, we think so. And we're excited to get these into your hands. Frequent backers are familiar with our crowdfunded double features. We've done several of them. They come in the form of a classic flip book. You read one side, you flip it over, and you read the other, all in one. You'll also note some changes with Kickstarter itself. We think they're good changes, but if you've been with us a while, it'll take you a minute to figure it out. All of the original art and the variant covers are now simply add-ons, and they're not tiers of their own. It's good because it doesn't clog up the main page with all those individual art tiers. But it's also good because if you want more than one original art page, it's very easy to click, I want that page, and that page, and that page. It's different, but we'll think it'll be better in the end. So, give it a look, back it if you can, share it if you will. Thank you for your time, and remember, make mine Silverline.
He's done. Roland's not all talking for you. I don't know what you're gonna say now.
Yeah, I know. He kind of covered everything. So,
We just had Roland on the Sunday's Funny program this weekend, so it was a lot of fun.
So
yeah. The one thing that's cool about the Kickstarter is I think all my original artwork is up for sale. So if you want any original pieces from the book, they're all up there. I think with Twilight Grim as well. So
May 2021, so not very long before they get their hands on this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Randy had to tell me, like, when Randy used the term flip book, I hear flip book and I think the book that you flip the page very quickly and the little character moves and scurries across.
Oh yeah. The animation books.
That's a flip book too.
Yeah. When you guys say flip book, and I'm like, well, isn't that like a? But I seen that like someone called it a double book, a double.
Yeah, they're taken after the old Ace double novels, that the paperback books that were old science fiction novels put out by Ace Publishing, where you'd read a story, you'd have a front cover of a story going in about halfway, and then you'd turn the book over. There's another front cover, and you'd read another story going into about halfway.
You gotta be old to have seen those, though.
Yeah. I was So to me, it's like someone's cheating me out of my story here, yo. When the page is flipped mid book, I'm like, is there a printing error? Is there someone? It's very confusing to me, but it looks good. And you guys have been doing that for a while, so I know that Randy's book, the Indie Volt Revolt book, is it's like that. He has a couple different books he's done that way too. But so all your art for sale.
I think he posted online. So if you go down, you can see all the interior pages.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think that's Jones. All right, is it all right? No, Dave. Never mind. That's my stuff. These are mine. So you can get a commission from me.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my last commissions I did. So
that's cool. And you're let me see here. It's like cat and mouse. See a lot of stuff up here. And again, being able to jump up and get, I've told people this before, being able to get in there and get these original pieces of art. Before Kickstarter or Indiegogo, it was kind of hard. You had to go to an agent or buyers to get original art. Now you're getting it right from the artist, and that's pretty cool. And I like it when it's affordable, because I've got some although I will say I've got some original art that just kind of showed up one day. I was looking through my portfolio and I'm like, what is this? I don't know if I got it at a con or how that happened, but I've got some original art that I did not pay for. And I do not, it's not from anybody big name, but it's like, and I will go to Eric's sketchbook and remove pieces that he's, because Eric's a good artist, so I like having his stuff from him, and he doesn't realize that it's missing. He'll realize when I put it on eBay.
Oh, you're scalping me. That's so sweet.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Randy to turn his head.
Flattering when somebody takes your art and sells it.
Yeah. If I wait till I get a hold of JD's manuscripts, like, oh man, I gotta get a hold of something like JD's, like it's like his files he just wrote and stuff that got edited out. Get a hold of that. I'll be rich.
Okay, so how about if somebody sends you a couple of proofs from their book, and one of them happens to be the one that they used to make their edits, where they're like, oh, I'm changing where this word bubble is, and it's got all these pen scribbles all over it. I got one, and I think that's like as awesome as it can get.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I would frame and hang up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I got it in the press right now because he was using it as an edit book, so it got a little nicked up, But I got it in the press right now. But I mean, I was amazed that he sent me that. That kind of stuff is like, yeah, Collectorville.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the book you'd want.
Oh, what's that? Let me see here.
Yeah, you can send me that one too.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, that's an original story. That's how I write them. I write them by hand.
Yeah.
Before I translate.
You Neanderthal.
Yeah, Lola's the same thing.
I never write anything if I had to write by hand.
Lola does the same thing. She writes everything by hand, and then she goes in and goes in and types it, and then too much work.
I did two overseas mission trips, and I hand wrote a journal. I found it not too long ago. I tried reading it. I was like, I can't read a word of this. My handwriting is so poor, and it's just like,
oh yeah, my handwriting is crap, but I can decipher it.
Yeah, so, you can still decipher. I forget what I wrote. I'm like, what is that supposed to be? I can't. I should be a doctor.
So we got joined now by Anthony Figueroa as we look at Friar Rush, based in New Orleans. There's joined by someone who's in New Orleans.
Figaro.
How we doing tonight, fellas? What y'all
How's it
doing?
going,
You got a whole house stacked up in here, huh?
We do.
Yeah.
That's a full house, man.
We got
and now what are we looking at here, fellas?
We're looking at Friar Rush. Now, tell us about Friar Rush, really quick, Aaron. How did this come about?
This came about. This is a this is an interesting story. Okay, so I will tell you an abbreviated version of the story. This comic I actually did 20 years ago. And I gave it to Roland, and then he was not able to go forward with it. And I actually ended up hearing his name on a podcast, looked him up online, and found that he was pitching this comic, but I didn't put. You remember, kids, always put your name in your homework, because I didn't, and he had another artist attached to the project. So by just sheer coincidence, I contacted him at this time and said, no, actually, I'm the artist, and it all got resolved, and that's how I came apart. So this is a pretty old series, but it's actually nice. 20 years later, it's coming to fruition, and everyone gets to see it, so I'm all super excited about that.
That's cool.
But yeah, so that's how I kind of
Friar Rush #1 in the Madness when they were promoting that one. So
yeah, way in the back. Yeah,
I think I even had a banner for that one.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, so it's a series that's seeing the
where's
light of
my
day.
Banner, Aaron? So where's
What?
my banner, Aaron? Where's my banner, bro?
So, but yeah, so I'm really happy to see it, because it was been done for a while. So I'm happy to see it all. So it is definitely interesting to look back on my work and be like, what was I doing back then, or thinking back then? So, but it's definitely cool to see it done. So that's how this came about. And so I think there's one more issue after this, and then it is all done. And it's kind of a horror adventure comic.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a friar that is like a demonic friar who basically tricks people with the cloth and the sinning, like corrupting them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Jake, who is that guy, the reporter, and then this other she's like this. I don't want to give away the backstory, but Seraph has kind of got some supernatural stuff going on. That's the lady there. She teams up to kind of defeat the friar. And so, but a lot of the characters are really cool. I'm excited. I would love to do more with this story if I ever decided to do any other stories with them. But yeah.
And you guys can go over there and get this particular one. You got 12 days. Right now, Indie Volt Radio, we are at 72,411 listening on Indie Volt Radio. Thank you guys. You guys can go over there, though. Kickstarter. It's our friends at Silverline double feature. So you got to type in Silverline. You'll bring up all their products, and you can get a hold of this one in May of 2021. Ships only to the United States, but did I see a digital version that's worldwide? I'm pretty sure that digital version is worldwide, so you can get the PDF. Now, let me see here, because I believe that we've got all right, it's Aaron's other thing. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to break up as much as I can, because I know that you guys sent me a lot of stuff. I asked for stuff. I asked to be sent
Travis says damn Full House.
Yeah. I did not like the fact that they married DJ off to. Oh, you meant here. Oh, yeah. So here's Aaron's site, HumphreysIllustration.BigCartel.com. His artworks. He's got Godlings issue 1, $5. He can get Godlings 2, 3,
7,
4.
8, and the 8 in the bottom. And I am just finishing issue 10. In fact, I did the covers last, and the covers over there waiting for me to finish, and I have client work to do. So it is. I really want to work on it. But issue 10 should be out, and I want to print those sooner, so those should be in the store too. So it'll be 12 issues total. And when it's done, it's done. So it's a one-shot story. And then those are my 2 children's books up there that I did. And those are published by Action Lab Comics.
Okay. I know Action Lab, yeah. Very good work. Guys, you can check out that Humphreys, HUMPHRES illustration.bigcartel.com.
And I signed them all for free for you.
Don't do it for free. Don't do it for free. Charge at least like $3. I'm just kidding. And we're going to talk about Shark of War next. But before we do that, let me advertise the Indie Volt Comic Book Awards very quickly here. Here we go.
Hang on.
Yeah, there we go. The Indie Volt Comic Book Awards coming to you September 18th from Dave and Buster's. It is the award show where we're gonna finally make the Oscars for comics. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes.
We won't have any scantily clad women there dancing and gyrating.
No,
on the
What?
Rich.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
No dancing numbers at all.
No dancing numbers at all.
I
I
haven't
tried
been to Dave and Buster's in a long time. I was hoping there would be polls.
Yeah, no.
You said when he wants me to dance, I don't have to dress scantily. I can.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
do
there we
because
go.
I too.
You can head over to indievotawards.com and submit your project today to get placed in consideration for the award show. Beautiful trophies. We got some of the designs for the trophies a couple of days ago. Really excited about that. So we'll be bringing in more information about that as that becomes available. But yeah, make sure too you take advantage of that submission. There is a submission fee. Submission fee for the awards goes to our friends over at Autism Now, which Autism Speaks, sorry, which is which Lola and I are wearing some of their stuff today. Lola's got the I Love Some of Autism shirt on, and mine is If You Can Be Anything, You Can Be Anything in the World. Just be kind. Also got the Autism Speaks mug here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Well.
Yeah.
So
Now
nice.
you just gotta start drinking coffee.
Yeah, I have caffeine in there, but yeah, it's
I need one of those. My Tigger cup is getting a little overworn.
Yeah, it's it's a good. All the submission fees for the award show go to Autism Speaks because we wanted to, we weren't comfortable charging a submission fee, but if we had to, we wanted to make sure it went to some place that could use it, and the submission fee is very affordable. It's $5 per title, but $1 per category. So if you were submitting one book, for one category, like best book, it would be $6. With the most, I think the most you could end up paying was like $22.
Not bad.
For everything. So IndieVoteAwards.com is where you want to go over there, and it's an award show. Randy always makes you remember that it's based on merit.
I was just going to say the big thing to point out here is that this is a judged event. It's not a popularity contest.
Mm-hmm.
And we're really doing this to raise the recognition for independent and alternative products. Yeah. So everybody's invited to join. There is a small buy-in fee to be considered, but again, that goes to Autism Speaks. And it's out there to raise the respectability of what we're doing.
Yeah, and a lot of other sponsors have come on, and they've been offering really cool incentives to people to sign up, and then just even people you can't buy tickets to come to the event. Those tickets will be made available very shortly as well. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about it. As it gets closer, I'm like, it's almost time for the award show.
It's going to be fun, and by about that time in September, we're all going to be looking to party.
Yeah,
to find a great place to sit and enjoy ourselves, and what a better way to do it with alternative comics.
Where does one sign up to be a presenter?
We're figuring it out. Don't worry, Pops. We got you.
It's a judged event, Pops.
No,
I just want to present. I don't want to be in it.
He wants to present an award. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Lola is open for bribes. If you want to be a presenter,
yeah.
I'm open for bribes as well.
I think we're all open for bribes, but that's a whole other story.
Shark of War issues 1 to 3. I'm gonna play the video, Ben. Is that okay?
Go for it.
All right, here we go. Hot. Shark of War. There it is. There it is. There it is. You
can just kill it if you don't want to hear it. I can just talk myself rather than having to talk.
Let's let you talk about it. You tell us about it.
Well, like I said, it is Jaws meets RoboCop. It's Jaws if the shark were the hero. It's RoboCop if the cop were a shark. He's been an experiment in a military research facility. He's escaped, but he's been pre-programmed to enforce U.S. law. So even though he's on the loose, he's basically going around enforcing U.S. law on the high seas in a shark manner, which makes some people very unhappy, and they're basically going out of their way to try to take him down, which is tough because he's armored and he's almost a shark superhero. And that's kind of where the story is at. They found a way to defeat him, and now in issue 3, he's beaten, and he's trying to find somebody who will help him because nobody wants to help a poor shark.
Except for Eric.
Here's something to briefly mention. Draw and Talk, for example, is mentioning how we can do better than big name creators. And one thing you can do is provide an experience that Marvel Comics isn't going to give you. For example, people keep telling me that, because I'm doing a shark comic book, they're like, I've been scared to get into the ocean ever since Jaws came out 45 years ago. And I'm like, well, that's insane. But, I know a lot about, the issues with sharks. So I've created, as an add-on for my comic book, my guide for how to avoid a shark attack. So it's very unlikely you'll ever be attacked by a shark. But if you want to reduce your odds even further, here's some tips. And they're all it's an illustrated guide, a couple pages that'll be part of my digital bonus. The other bonuses I'm giving, are fossilized shark teeth, refrigerator magnets and things like that you can't get necessarily you're going to get with your regular Marvel DC comic book.
Now the big shark fan in the house is Eric. Eric's a huge shark fan. And in fact, he just came back from, was it SeaWorld?
Yep, SeaWorld Orlando.
Yeah, and he took a picture in a shark's head, and I thought he looked pretty big in there, and I found out the thing he was taking a picture was for children. He wedged himself in there, which is pretty cool. But Eric, I remember we were at MegaCon, and a guy had shark teeth for sale. You remember that?
Yeah, and he had megalodon fossil teeth that I almost dropped a few $100s on.
Yeah, depending on how big they are, they can be really expensive.
I remember trying to get Eric in trouble, like he's like, oh, I have to talk to my wife. I'm like, I thought you were the man. I thought you were the man. And but yeah, you ended up you got a smaller one, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, you got a smaller one, but shark teeth. You almost got. I mean, I'm pretty sure Eric's clicking the back this project now button, or he probably already has.
These are good size for necklaces. They aren't going to be like your megalodon teeth, but these are real fossils from several million years ago, and they're the perfect size to make a necklace out of. Or
plus,
a bracelet.
Very cool.
All the backers get a fridge magnet 1 week only, or until I run out. Let's see. Oh, I didn't know that. Avoid modern white shark teeth as they have been illegally or unethically harvested.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues with sharks getting captured and their fins cut off, basically, and their teeth taken, and then their bodies just thrown overboard, alive still. So it's the shark trade can be is pretty cruel when done morally wrong. So your best bet is, if you want a shark tooth, if you don't find it yourself on the beach, is to get a fossil, because nobody's killing a shark for a fossil. It's already dead.
Or remove a teeth from the ass of people with shark attacked.
They do shed them. They shed them naturally.
Yeah, they do shed them. So if you're at the beach, you may find, if you're really lucky, you may find a shark tooth. The only ones I found have been very small. But
if you back this book and you get that book, that guide on how to avoid a shark attack, you might be able to hook, left, right hook, get yourself a shark tooth of your own.
Look at him eating people. It's not cool. Look at him. He's
No, he was a non-backer. There you go.
Yeah, don't worry. I only eat non-backers.
Okay, I get it.
I said back this book first. That way. The guide.
So now the art style that are you doing that, or you have someone doing that?
No, I do my own art. I in my my digital extras, I explain how I do the art. I'm not an artist. I'm an engineer, so I'm very good with computer programs. So I use computer modeling software, digital drawing software, and combine them to make my own art.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy, like I said, another bonus in digital editions is I do give a guide for how I make the art. And if people want to do something similar, there are programs that are very inexpensive that they can use to do stuff like this. I mean, it takes a lot of practice, and you have to be good with computers, but you can do it if you want to.
Flying piranha, stuff of nightmares. I've often thought about getting some like evil fish.
Evil fish.
Evil. I want evil fish. I want
evil
fish.
Fish.
You want a cool fish.
yeah, man.
Piranha, that fish with the lightning lighting on its own front.
Lionfish. I'm very fond of those for the home.
Although I could see myself making myself a Shark of War toy. Could see that happening. Well, get on it, Ben. Where are the Shark of War toys?
If I get to the next level, I would definitely like to make a Shark of War toy. I toyed with getting a monogram stuffed animal made. I always do a Jaws cover. This time the Jaws cover is flipped around. The first Jaws cover was basically matched the original poster, and now it's the woman who's mocking the shark and not the other way around.
I love this cover.
Yeah, this is Brian Dawson. He does Mahoney's. He's the artist for a comic book called Mahoney's. He did this cover for me, and I thought it really came out great. It's just a very graphic shark jumping out, and you get the art you get a hand drawn version of this cover in one of the tiers that he's done. And then this next cover is Greg Bo Watson. He kind of specializes he does a lot of what I call pretty girl cover art. This is series heroine Marissa with the shark coming up behind her. This is the inks for it, and again, you can get the inked cover as well as one of the tiers.
That's the cover. I
compare that a lot to Adam Hughes's work.
Yeah,
that's probably the cover that Lola likes. Am I right, Lola?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, it's not colored yet. I'm hoping to have it'll hopefully be done with the coloring in a week, so I can get it on before the end of the show.
Very clean, very nice.
And you can get into this book.
Yeah,
was it $8 for the digital catch-up?
Yeah, through all 3 packages, and like I said, I do have digital extras in each book. Like I said, I'm an engineer by trade, so I provide a science of Shark of War, for example. If you want to know how the shark flies, the technology behind it, I give you an explanation. And so for $8, instead of scanning hard copies of my books, you can just get the digital PDFs. I don't lock them, so if Taylor wants to mail them to anybody, he's free to do it. Hopefully some of the people he mails it will like it enough that they'll actually want to sign up for my mailing list and buy my hard copies.
Buy the actual book.
Yeah. So I don't object. I'm not trying to lock up my books. In fact, you can get issue 1 for free. There's a link on the Kickstarter page. You can read all of issue 1, and it's the expanded issue 1, so it gives you all the extras too.
Very cool. Very cool.
And all you have to do is agree to get my emails. That's all you have to do for that. And now here you see you get into the higher prices, but I'm trying to give you variant covers, face masks, things like that. And then we get up to the original art, and 10 covers for that price with the shipping and everything else is, not uncompetitive with, what you'd pay if you were going to get variant covers for mainstream book.
Yeah. Say fishing lure. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I got 3 legs I can throw a rock at, so I'm just saying, is there a fishing lure?
I've not thought of that one yet.
There you go. That's the next one. That's the next one. We'll call it the.
I really would like to do a
little shark that jumps across the top of the water.
I do have a keychain there, so I do have a bottle opener keychain of a shark. So that's what gave me the idea. If you go back up, you can kind of see my bottle.
Make a lure out of that.
Scroll up.
Yeah. So there we go. We got
a little farther.
Yeah,
right
you can
there,
see my
right
monogram. My monogram bottle opener keychain shaped like a shark.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, man, we can make a lure out of that. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. So guys, you got a couple of days. You got let's see, June 2021 is when this ships anywhere in the world. However, you got
it's all done now. I mean, the digital edition will be in your hands within the month. Within 5 days of me finishing the Kickstarter. The print edition, obviously, I gotta get the books and pack them up and mail them.
Right. You guys got 15 days left to get over there. Kickstarter, Shark of War issues 1 through 3, the new King and Queen of the Sea. Check it out only on Kickstarter from Ben Lacey. Ben, thank you. I'll be posting a link to that so people can take a look at it in our description of the video.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anthony.
He fell asleep.
Yes. Anthony, are you there?
Take a roll.
Of course, I'm here. I was reading. I was just reading.
He's got my old man.
He wasn't paying attention to my spiel. I'm insulted.
Yes.
I was I was looking up shark stuff and I was looking up all kinds of stuff over here. Man, I was very informed.
He's you just launched Justice City Chronicles.
Yes. Just launched it.
Yeah, the book that got me and Eric in fights last night. That's all right. We're all right. We're good.
What?
We're not gonna talk about
what
that.
Happened?
You know what happened.
I don't know what happened. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know what happened either. I think you're gonna have to explain yourself now.
Listen. All's well that ends well. That's what I can tell you.
Yep.
Apparently, the powers to be have a funny sense of humor, and they play it out with us sometimes. But in the end, I will say this, and I know it doesn't sound, but in the end, if you try to do the next right thing, it seems like things seem to work out. So the lesson is try to do the next right thing, even when no one's looking. And when you don't really feel like doing the next right thing, try to call someone who can talk you into doing the next right thing. So
I'm glad to know that you need that too, because I remember more than once calling you to talk me down.
Yeah.
It's
anyways, the campaign went off yesterday. It went off great. We're coming this, I guess we're in the last 36 hours in, because we got a few more. I think it's 7:30 in the 48 cycle, and then because if you back the book within the first 48 hours, you get the exclusive metal trading card. That's the early bird special.
How many hours of streams have you been on since this thing launched?
I don't know.
I've been seeing him.
I don't know.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
he's been all over the place.
Yeah, he's
you got to. You want on? Yeah, you got to.
I messaged him last night with a couple of insults. Night before last.
Yeah,
remember that? It was very late.
I do. I remember that.
Yeah,
he insulted my skin color and everything. It was great.
It's actually true. I did.
Listen. It's some kind of bond. The Italians and the blacks, we have some kind of bond. I think because we have some black in us, so it's like it's kind of they recognize that. That's what I'm saying. We got that. I got some of that more blood in me, baby. It's all. I never denied.
I want to know exactly how come I wasn't told ahead of time there'd be $150 subscription box, and I'm like, you guys are lucky I got my stimulus.
Yeah, you know, I knew Biden was going to come through for me. Take it easy, Pops. Take it easy. Take it easy.
It was funny because he had the $150, and I'm like, he got a T-shirt. Then I thought about it. My wife will steal the T-shirt, so I'm like, there's no use to me. I mean, I'm gonna get the T-shirt, but I'm gonna have to hide it, or she's gonna steal it.
You get to wear it once till she does the laundry, and then it's gone.
Yeah, I could buy more than one. I could, but
I mean, if you buy the shirt, you know what I'm saying. You got to remember, $5 from the shirt sales goes to the Wounded Warrior Project. So, you know, it's a win-win for everybody.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And you know, you closed out God's Hand, stellar campaign, got that funded, got those books out.
If you didn't get God's Hand, it is in the tiers. You can get it from here, and it's an add-on for any tier you get. And yeah, you can get it there, or you can get it anywhere. If you want a box set and didn't get God's Hand, you can add it to the box.
Okay, all right. Now on Justice City, you do some of the art tours. You do some of the art tours, not all of it, right? Or are you doing all the art
on the art?
Yeah, for Justice City,
all of it, bro. He's got me. He's got some compromising information on me, so I'm cheap. He makes me work hard, you know. Takes advantage of me and shit, you know. So probably most of it.
Because I was wondering, because I'm like, I know that Marcus is an artist as well. Like,
that's a negative. Yeah. If you want to ever mess with him, if you ever want to mess with Marcus, he's gonna be pissed when I do that. If you ever want to mess with him, y'all don't tell nobody, okay? Just you know.
It's like nobody's listening, right?
Our 70,000 plus listeners. Just
right. Just asking me like, yeah. So we heard that you did some character sketches for Brent Irwin, and you won an award for your Iron Frau character. And he'll know right off the rip who told you. So you say.
I'll remember that.
Just say Iron Frau. Don't even say nothing.
Yeah.
I'll remember to do that. Also, Travis Gibbs says Ben Lacey is pro. Travis Gibbs said it.
Thank you,
Ben. You know, Travis Gibbs' word around here is moot. I'm just kidding, though. Travis is okay. We like Travis. We just pick on him. But you said thank you, so you apparently are a friend of Travis, and you know that makes one of us. I just love.
You are welcome, Ben Lacey. Yes.
I just love busting Travis's chops. It's awesome. Whenever I can. He
nice to have
that.
Travis in the chat today.
He's been on the show. He's been on the show. He doesn't come on.
No,
enough. He only comes on when he wants to pitch his book. He only wants to use us. He's only using us.
Wants to abuse your radio number. What's your radio number right now, by the way?
We are at 88,500. So thank you guys. 88,500 listening on Indie Volt Radio. Thank you. They're using Alexa. They're using and the URL.
What's our country of choice today?
We are doing it real big in Egypt right now. Egypt, and we actually got some listeners in Israel, so that's cool too.
Oh, we appreciate each and every one of you out there listening. We do.
Yeah, I got to clean the language up. I'm going out to the Holy Land.
Got to be careful.
I got to clean the
If
language.
it is all possible, please go over to YouTube and smash the like and subscribe button so you can see all the loveliness that you're hearing.
It's the Indie Volt channel over on YouTube,
and
that's INDIE VOLT.
INDIE VOLT. INDIE VOLT. Everywhere you just find it. You type that in, you'll find Indie Volt or a prescription or a website.
Prescription. What?
Yeah,
subscribe. Sometimes hit that bell for notification.
Well, no, there is. Sometimes when you type in Indie Volt, a site for prescription enhancers comes up.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not lying. It's weird. Gotcha. It's the weirdest. It's one of the plugins has a flaw in it, and I've been going through the site trying to fix it. And every time I fix it,
prescription enhancer. Is it Scotch?
No,
Is it a
it's
fall? No. It's not
Sometimes some inadequate males do need an indie volt. Is
Sometimes.
that what you're saying?
yeah, they're like
sometimes when you're in the mood.
Yep.
When the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak, you need to use these.
Terrible.
46 days left of
I
this
know.
campaign.
Indie Volt use only.
Yes, you better
correct?
hurry up and back it. Hurry up and back it now because there's only 46 days left.
And then you got, but you got the trading cards, which the metal trading card, which only lasts for a couple hours.
That's only lasts for a couple more hours. Yes, that too.
So get in there and get that. If you're gonna do the $150 box, go ahead and do it. And then, send me your T-shirt, send me an extra shirt because mine's gonna get stolen.
There you go.
I know it.
There it is.
I also want to bring up somebody else here does not know how to keep themselves off crowdfunding. Every time I turn around, this particular individual has a new campaign. I don't get it.
He's
I
in
don't get
CrossCon every month pushing the book. Every month. though.
It's just launched. I look at this.
0 backers.
I know. It's terrible.
Wow.
Just
0
launched.
back.
Oh,
Here.
No, drop that link.
I don't
so
feel
can
so
share
bad
that
now.
to the group.
Good grief.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Seen a campaign with 0 backers on a channel before.
Well, damn it, he deserves it. Because he
deserves it.
You believe the abuse? The abuse.
Look at this. Another campaign. Back to the well again. No, JD is. I put the campaign up there. The link is in the chat. If you guys want to pop over and check it out.
Yeah.
The Oswald Chronicles, My Time with Clive, 1 through 4. So see, just when I thought I had the whole series, here comes JD with more books.
That's the way it rolls, man. The mouse is on the move. The greatest mouse adventure going today is not stopping. It's rolling, and it's going to roll everybody over. That's what we have.
We just got through saying that, oh man, people are taking too long to put books out. But JD's sitting on books. I know it. He's sitting on like 6 more issues, sitting there like
Every time I turn around, he's got a book.
No, it's more like 10.
Now it's like I just hit him up at the beginning of every month. Yo, you want a spot in CromCon this month?
Yeah. What do you got? I'm almost ready to hit reload. I'm almost afraid because he launched. Let's see here.
Go ahead and hit it. Hit it. Do it. Hit it.
Let's see.
Hit it.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead. Don't be afraid. Hit it.
Indiegogo is a cruel mistress to me. Very cruel. It's very different. I'm still building up my people on this. And the thing is, unlike Anthony, who's a professional, right?
Professional what?
Well, see, that's what I've been trying to figure out. See,
that's highly debatable.
It is debatable. It is highly debatable.
Exactly.
Old word, he said.
But if you want to see something different, you want to see experience some adventures of a crazy mouse and his friends. This is definitely the way to go. If you can see this is my fascination with Powerpuff Girls.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my artist illustrate this story in that style.
Very cool.
That's cool. I like that.
Another
more JD Calderon, Oswald goodness. The book's never going to stop. There's no end. No. There's no end. He's told me.
There is an end. I just, it's just going to take a while to get there. That's all.
He'll never end.
What do we got in the video?
Let me play it. I'll play it now. Let's see. Can you guys hear it?
Hello, everyone. This is JD Calderon, writer and creator of the Oswald Chronicles, and I'm here to tell you of one of Oswald's greatest and wildest adventures. This series of stories occurs during the Clive cycle of stories when he's traveling around Dream with a young babe called Clive, and these 2 particular stories are the 3rd and 4th stories within the series. The first one is In This Town Something Creeps, and the second story is I Awoke in a Stranger's Dream. In this town, something creeps. Oswald finds himself in what he thought was just a dreamer's dream, but discovers that it's actually something far more dangerous. While in I Awoke in a Stranger's Dream, Oswald finds himself in a world that could have been the lost life he could have had with Sally, the young girl who gave him his name and taught him how to read and write. We're also offering A Country Night in New York City, a Star Tremor tale, where Oswald finds himself telling the tale of a brave Calcian knight who found herself caught in a war between two worlds. We also have copies of issues 1 and 2 still available, so please check out the reward tiers and find the one that best suits you. Thank you for your time, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, this is what happens when you have fever dreams and you decide to write. You know. You know. Yeah. This particular story was there was a writer's prompt of can you mix Cthulhu and hobbits and a love story, and I was like, I could do that. You know, and that's where I have this story. So it's kind of like an offshoot of hobbits and Cthulhu. So
what's in the alternate PDF level?
What? Ultimate PDF? Well, Ultimate PDF level probably has about 1,000 pages worth of material. We're talking about it has the first 8 issues that you're familiar with, Passing Queens and Making Homes. It has these 4 issues. It has about 600 or 700 pages worth of prose stories in it. Yeah, there's a lot of content in that Ultimate PDF level.
The books level 2 is those are physical books.
Those are the physical books. That's issues 1 through 4 plus the two chapbooks. That's these things.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
What?
I thought I was finished. I thought I had the complete collection.
No, man. It's like, we're never done. We're never done. I have to get to the end of the story. It's going to take a while.
Guys, you can go ahead and check out this over at Indiegogo, the Oswald Chronicles, My Time of Clive, issues 1 through 4 from J.D. Calderon, and that is Dreamweaver.
That is what?
That is Dreamweaver.
That is, yes, Dreamweaver Press. That's the name of my company.
Yeah, Dreamweaver. That is Dreamweaver. I accidentally accredited Ego Raven once to Dreamweaver Press, and I was displeased with that. I was told.
She told me she beat you up.
Yeah. She sent me a dirty letter. It was mean.
Yeah.
You
gotta be careful with those.
She drew my head on the pike, and it was very descriptive. Also, I would be remiss if I did not play.
Be remiss.
I just realized I didn't do too. Probably because he's done us so wrong on the show lately. I didn't play the Justice City Chronicles video.
What?
You did not.
I didn't play Justice City Chronicles video.
That's true.
Hold on.
See, this is why I didn't call you about the box, bro. You did this to me.
Let me play that video real quick. Hold on. To be honest, he's probably got copyrighted music, and we're gonna get flagged for it. But we'll play it anyway. Here we go.
Oh, that hurt my feeling. That hurt.
Very nice, very nice. That's just City Chronicles. There was the video for it. I'm sorry about that. I missed it. Now, I will be remiss if I did not mention that Randy has a Kickstarter up. Indie Volt.
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. I'm sorry.
Indiegogo.
campaign.
Man, why are you trying to?
Yeah,
trying
I
to
hit this.
lambaste that man,
I hit
bro?
this campaign button yesterday, and it just suddenly popped up. So, you know, I thought it was going to get somebody had to look at it first, but boom, there it is. So, I've been going through and tweaking it all day, making little changes here and there.
You
People
can-
call me up and go, "Hey,
you
that's
can
not
tweak
spelled
it
right."
forever, bro.
I know.
I know.
I hear you.
I know.
At least I've
You
got
can tweak
Glenn
'em forever,
Fleming's name spelled correctly in this. So it's good. It's good. Hey, this is Indie Volt Revolt. This is a book we've been talking about doing for months now. In fact, we opened up a room on Facebook to get this all coordinated. This is over 110 pages of stories, over 15 stories, over 24 creators, most of which are folks that you hear here on Indie Volt, showing off their stuff. It's not a slipshod collection of just little preview stories. This is a sequential art, almost like a portfolio piece from all of us doing what we love and putting it all together into one book in order to show off our stuff to folks who listen, especially the ones who listen here at Indie Volt.
Mm-hmm.
And I put out an open call. Everybody answered except Anthony, who decided he was too good for us. Didn't throw a story in.
That's what happened. I was just like, you know what, you guys. Really, what I was like, you guys are just way too good for me. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm lousy stuff. What am I gonna do? Let me stop. I'm trying to be good. Yeah. Every time I open my mouth, I'm like, I would have put a story in there, but
yeah. Well, I kept hoping for Kid Destructo, and it never showed up.
I know.
I did. I even drew it for you.
Anthony ate 10 pages just to get the story rolling.
Yeah.
You just can't bring it to an end.
I have those. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a phenomenal collection of stories, and these are stories, beginning, middle, and ends, that are just all thrown together into this big book. I got so many people asking to do covers. We decided to make a flip book. Sorry, Travis. We had to do a flip book, and we had 4 really great covers, 2 of which you're seeing here. One by Russ Leach, who I had to have. With Death Just Causing Havoc. It's a great cover. And then Chris Skelf has a Jetpack Girl cover. Chris has done covers for a lot of he's done a lot of Dark Horse Star Wars material, done a lot of covers for G-Fan. He's just an ace with airbrush and Photoshop. And he normally does storyboards for advertising and stuff, some very famous commercials out there that you have seen that he did storyboard work for. But he contributed a cover. We got one from Daphne Lage with Mischievous, and one from Kirk Jarvinen, who hasn't done printed work in quite a while. He did Aquaman Time and Tide for DC, the great miniseries right before Aquaman lost his arm that Peter David wrote. You'll see here, we're offering 2 different cover sets. It is a flip book where you go in one side about 60 pages and then you flip it over. And now it looks like you're probably going to go in another 60 pages on the other side as well. So we're really pressing 120. I've got a couple of other stories that we want to throw into this book. When it's all done with our stretch goals, we really want to hit really close to 150 or so pages on this book. Now, the interiors are all black and white. There's a lot of a wide variety of stories. If you go and play any of the videos here on the campaign, you'll see the artwork is just top quality, and all sorts of different types of sequential art are in this book. So it's really a book I'm very proud of. I'm proud to put together, and it's the kickoff for Arrow Comics' return to publishing as well. So, and we're currently jumping into production on doing a full set of direct market books here very quickly. And we just can't be happier to get this back up and rolling again. And so happy because of our association, especially now that we're celebrating our 2nd anniversary as Indie Volt, that we're doing this portfolio collection of stories for everybody to enjoy.
There's a tier here. This tier is at
150 backers. Yes.
Yeah. Revolt adds a Tipsy the Gnome tale written by Krista Grant. This is an author of the adult graphic novel Lore, with art by Indie Volt owner Varian Grant. He promises.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I promise I will get it done. I promise. I had 150 backers, and trust me, no one has been hitting that. It's like I've been hitting that reload button only to see like we're not close to 150 backers, right? Because that's scary to me. I was joking about this, and people.
It's a 60-day campaign. I have faith that we're going to get there. You need to get to work now.
Yeah. I
need to get to work first.
Yeah, she's gonna write it. Yeah. That was gonna be my excuse. She hasn't written it. That's gonna be my excuse. Nice. It's funny though, Randy, and you know we joked about this, like how little input and how little like I've had to do with this book.
I keep telling you, you have to get used to delegating authority.
Well, it was funny because like I have nothing to do with it, but it does have the Indie Volt name on it, and because, you know, you have to own it, Varian, because your company's name is on it. And I'm like, Arrow Comics name is on it. Randy's been doing books since the 80s. Before that, even I think.
No, since the 80s. Since the 80s. Yeah, I'm not that old. Come on.
You know, I mean, Randy's been doing books since 57. He knows what. So, but no, it's.
Been doing funny books since I was 12 years old, or 12 cents.
Yeah, but he knows what he's doing. So, you know, again, this just launched. 59 days left. $575 or $1,250 ask at Indiegogo.
Oh, and I don't want to boast or anything, but we don't have a box. we don't have bookmarks or trading cards. It's just a book. You come and you buy a book. We'll give you some other books to read. I want people to pick this book up and read it. That's the whole push on this campaign.
Anthony had to be
no frills, just a great book.
Anthony had to unmute. Anthony had to mute himself. Anthony, you're muted. Go ahead and cuss him out. Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna say anything.
I thought about a T-shirt, but no, not a. Better not. I just
the only way I can do it, bro.
Even though Anthony's not in it, we've asked him numerous times to send us something.
Anthony, here's the thing. They don't know. Anthony's in the book. We're just gonna take Count Carlos. We'll strip all the color out of it, and we'll put it in the book. The entire issue.
You think I would be upset about that?
Oh man.
Wait, now if you go to the campaign, we've got 2 videos up. There's a quick pitch video that's right at the very start, and also in there's another little 4-minute video that I did. I was originally going to put that up in the campaign, and I heard from Russ Leach, who said, "Dude, that video you got's way too long. Yeah. People want something short, something snappy." So I had to spend a day yesterday our day before yesterday and do something that's a lot shorter. I said, "Hey, 4 minutes, me talking." I thought that was a short video.
Well, guys,
Anthony, tell him about it.
Did you say 4 minutes? Did you say 4 minutes? Come on, Randy.
Short attention spans.
Yeah.
Apparently so. Man. Well, this one's only a minute. Play the first one, will you?
Yeah, I'll play this one. Here we go.
Over 110 great pages of black and white comics, over 15 complete stories performed by over 24 creators, all contributors or listeners to the Indie Volt podcast. A square-bound graphic novel-sized book wrapped around 2 different front covers. This is a flip book with 2 different cover set options for you to choose from, all performed by a wide variety of talent from a wide variety of countries, all wanting to show you their potential and the power of what alternative and independent comics can have. And that's just the start. Stretch goals will add more stories to this book, making it literally as big as the backers can possibly make it, and heralding the return of Arrow Comics back to regular publishing greatness. This is not the time for alternative and independent comics to stand still. This is time to revolt. This is Indie Volt Revolt. Get yours today.
All I was missing was the sound of monster trucks behind them.
That's right. Sunday.
Yeah.
Over 110 pages of killer content.
How did you go for 4 minutes? I mean, that's everything. How
You've seen
did you go for 4
have you
minutes?
seen the Sunday Funnies?
Are you
Have you watched
picking
Sunday Funnies?
You ever
How
seen
do I go
Randy
for a
pull out
full 4
soapbox?
minutes? Go to the website and take a look at the video.
Yeah.
I had a lot of ground I thought I had to cover in the video, and that is what is Indie Volt, why we are getting all together to do a book, what's in the book, how the book looks, what's a flip
You
book,
write that
how
all
the
in the
flip
you
book
write
looks.
that all in the campaign. You just write it down.
It
and let
is.
them read
It is all in the campaign. Yes.
Okay, there you go. That's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
you need. I'm telling you.
And that's the material you use when
Well,
you
hey,
go
this
out
is
on
my first
everybody's
one.
show.
Come on, cut me some slack.
Well, why didn't you call me, motherfucker? You could have called me and been like, "Hey, listen, so check this video out."
I spent a
And
few
I'd have
days
told you off
putting
the
this
rip.
thing
I'd have
together.
been like,
Come on.
"Bruh." That's
You
just
need
a
to
minute.
put
Ladies and
material
gentlemen,
on
the ball
podcast.
dusting is going to continue for the foreseeable
Dude,
future.
look,
Yeah,
I'm telling
Viewer
you,
discretion is
my
advised.
first,
We are
my,
TV, MAL, MADSLV.
my first Godsend video was fucking 3 minutes long. 1 minute was the video, was the animation. 2 minutes
You
was me
had
talking.
one story to explain.
Listen to me. I know. And after about watching that son of a bitch about 10 times, I was like, cut the part with me out. Cut that shit out and just leave
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing me explain a fucking campaign and all this bullshit. Fuck, you know,
Well, I'm
everybody's
not.
like,
I'm not.
then you go up to streams of people,
voice.
and at about a minute and a half, people are like, how long is this video? I'm like, it's only 3 minutes long.
I'm
know,
not even in the
so,
4 minute one, dude.
I think that
Well, I am, because I show a little bit of Indie Volt as we're talking, and the fact that we're now a family, and we're all getting together to do this great book.
yeah, it was
Except for you.
Big family feud here.
Damn.
Well, you could be a stretch
this
goal, dude. Come on.
We're
Send me
gonna
a
figure out a
score.
way. We're gonna figure out ways to get
Okay.
in there.
Do the ballad
He'll
of
do,
Kid
a metal,
Destructive.
he'll do a metal bookmark for you.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's what I'll do, man.
Guys, we're reaching the end of our program. Before we do that, though, I want to make sure that everyone also is aware that our own Indie Princess, her campaign is launching in just a few days.
Yes.
Lore is launching. There it is.
A couple of weeks away.
Yep.
Go sign up.
The adult graphic novel from our Indie Princess, Lola. She's very excited. She's reaching nervous levels now. Yeah. Go ahead. Your mic's muted. I'm sorry.
That's what happens when you stake your premiere so far away. You get a chance to get nervous.
Yeah, I'm super nervous.
It's going to be great.
You'll be all right.
You do fantastic.
I hope so. I plan on going on as many shows as possible.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
Like Monday Madness Ladies Night, the 22nd.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be on CromCon next Saturday.
Yes, he is. And so is Anthony. And so is JD.
I'll be on. I think I'm on
I'll
Sunday,
be
I
there.
believe.
Yeah,
He's probably going to talk a lot longer than I will, though.
he always does.
How those virtual cons work out for you?
For me, it's just like a big infomercial. Everybody gets a chance to come out and then do like this and talk about their project. And it's not like we're out here like really trying to do any kind of pressure sales. It's nice when people back people's stuff because they see it on CromCon. But I mean, I'm having fun. Everybody seems to have fun coming out and doing it, watching it, and that's all that really matters, right?
Yeah. Entertainment's the key.
Pops, am I still good for the 28th?
The 28th.
That's the date you gave me.
That's
For
a Sunday, huh?
For CromCon, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So there we go. There's.
But you're also Monday Madness, Ladies Night. Don't forget that.
Don't forget.
Well, you'll have to send me a reminder.
I'll try to remind you. So go over there and check out Lore over on Indiegogo. I signed up for that today as well.
That's LURE for our radio listeners. What's our radio number?
We are at 89244.
Slowly creeping up. There we
Yeah,
go.
Fire.
Yeah, great numbers. Thank you guys for listening. We're gonna let our guests tell you where they can be found at, though. We're gonna start with Aaron. Aaron, where can you be found at online?
Where can you find me? Good question. Well, Let me see. No, you can find me at Facebook. My name Aaron Humphreys. Humphreys Illustration. And then I am on Instagram at ALH3810. I need to change that, but it's just AL8, my initials, 3810. And then Webtoons, you can read my Gollings comic on there. Just type in Gollings, you'll find it. Or you can buy them from my store, which you get free signatures is more preferred, but whatever works for you.
And let's see here. Let's Clay Lex. Clay. I'm just gonna call you Clay from now on because I keep wanting to say Clay Tech.
Yeah, because that's
Clay Lex.
People have called me Clay now than even my own name, and I've told people it's like, if you just want to call me that, that's my name now. Like I will go to whoever needs to get my name changed legally, and I'll do it.
Where can you be found at, sir?
I'm on Twitter usually. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I got a Twitch channel. I got a bunch of paid promos, but I usually just you can just go on Twitter and then I show it every now and then, at least 1, 2 to 3 times a day. But if you see the little sleep paralysis baby with the smile, yeah, that's me. That's my icon.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice.
Ben, where can you be found at?
Well, my Kickstarter is at sharkofwar.bitingcomics.com, and that's going on for another 2 weeks. I appreciate you looking at it, and you can get issue 1 free there. On Facebook, which is my main place to hang out, is Facebook/sharkofwar.
Excellent. I like how everybody's got such short, concise answers now. Like before, it was where can I be found? Mr. Anthony Figueroa.
You just
Am I unmuted? Hold on, let me mute myself so I don't fuck up.
Okay.
All right. My name is Anthony Figueroa, and I have a campaign. It's called Justice City. I almost said God's Hand. It's called Justice City Chronicles. It's right now in Indiegogo. You have till 7:30 in the morning. If you back by then, you will get a nice metal trading card. It looks kind of like this. This is a big one, but it looks kind of like this. It's very nice. It doesn't have holes in it like this one. You said this one has holes in it. See those holes? You don't have. It doesn't have those holes in it. So it's just that's what it is. That was an example I was showing. And then, but did you say it was a green screen? Pops? Okay. All right. And so go over there, back that, get you that, and a lot of good goodies over there. If you'd like, you can find me on www.kiddestructo.com. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Clapper. You can find me on all of them. So just wherever you go, just type in either Anthony Figueroa or type in Kid Destructo, and all my stuff comes up. I'm on there too. I'm on there too. I've seen. I'm. And
what's your OnlyFans?
Yeah, Lola's asking if you want OnlyFans.
Hey,
what was that, Lola?
I didn't want to put it out there, but
are you on Grindr too?
Grinder. I would listen. I would say no, but Randy saw me on there, so I have to now admit that
oh yeah, my mental wanderings. I'm surfing the web. Yeah, plenty of time
to do that. So that's it. That's my rap, maybe.
Thank you, sir. Who was it? JD Calderon. Where can you be found at, sir?
I can be found on Facebook, Twitter, under JD Calderon. I can be found on DeviantArt under JD Calderon, or I can be found on theoswaldchronicles.com or talltalesonline.com. Also, you can find me on Indiegogo at the moment. So, of course. You can find me on Indiegogo where you can find the Oswald Chronicles and find some the greatest mouse adventure going today.
Awesome. Very good. Okay. Mr. Van Zant, who, by the way, there was a young lady, a fighter, and it said Van Zant. I'm like, I wonder if you're related to Pops. And I'm like, well, no, that's Pop's outlaw name. But yeah.
I'd claim her, though. I'd claim her if I could.
Where can you be found it, sir?
Comic Related Madness, best kept secret on Facebook. we're out here on Comic Talk with Pops Panzan on YouTube, the home of CromCon and Monday Madness. This week on Monday Madness, Ladies Night. Don't freaking miss it. John Running is going to give away some art during the stream at some point to somebody in the chat at the time. John Running, if you do not know, is the type of artist that fills a piece of paper. You don't do a headshot. His art is amazing. Be there. Lola's going to be there. She's going to be like, I'm probably going to let her take over. Because, you know,
Surprise, I
nobody
didn't
has to
know.
run the show. There's probably going to be more ladies there than there are screens. I'll probably be watching from the backstage. So, you know, it's going to be fun.
What time is it, Pops?
It starts at 8 o'clock Eastern. And, you know, like East Coast ladies can come in early and we'll go all the way across the country. Christy Shin's going to be coming out later in the evening and co-hosting at, you know, for the West Coasters and the late night people, the after hours crowd, you know, the TVMA and all that.
Now, when you talked about ladies night and they giving away, I thought you were going to say you were giving away ladies, and I was like, boy, look at the subscription numbers fly.
I'm not going to lie though, the first time I did a ladies night show was, and probably still is, the most views I've ever gotten on a show. So
that was a good show though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a great show, and this one's gonna be great too, man. It's, you know, all night long.
Mr. Dreaded Dinosaur, where can you be found at, sir?
Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Eric Hodson at Dreaded Dinosaur on all those social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, minds.com. You can go to erichodson.com. That's ERIKHODSON. And buy some of my art prints, wrestling and anime stuff, and help me pay some rent. The big thing, though, I want you to go to Webtoons or go to Tapas, whichever one is your personal poison. Search for Dreaded Dinosaur Man and subscribe and start reading so that you can be ready for the launch of my upcoming print book, Dreaded Dinosaur Man, come on later this year. So stay tuned for that.
Very good, very good. And Lola, where can you be found at, man?
Don't put me on the big screen.
No.
You can reach out and slap him if you don't listen. She's right there. So, you know.
Not at all. I look so tired because I am.
Well, you know, I also want to admit, announce that this is the first time that Lola's wearing a T-shirt.
Yeah. Normally my shorts are like this. So,
like, what happened?
Now that neckline will never be the same.
You're highlighting the new shoes tonight. Back off, guys. Back off.
no, tonight I wanted to support our sponsor, Autism Speaks, because I do live with two people that do have autism, my husband, and my son also has autism. So I do love two people with autism.
And so, where can you be found at?
But you guys can find me, go to Linktree, look up indie_princess, and you can find all my links there, including a link to the pre-launch page of Lore, which is on Indiegogo and will be launching March 31st.
Excellent. Thank you. Mr. Zim, how about you?
Hey, everybody, I'm Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Twitter under Randy Zim. You can find Arrow Comics 4.0 on Facebook also, where we're going to be showing all of our announcements for the books that we're going to be doing now and in the future. We also have Arrow Comics 4.0 YouTube channel, so jump over there to see our videos. I am going to be putting more material up there very soon. We have our 2 pitch videos up there now. Plus, don't forget Indie Volt Revolt over on Indiegogo. Up now, it's a 60-day campaign, and then after that, it's done. And we're just going to be printing right to the numbers. So get in now, because once it's gone, it's gone. It won't be an in-demand project because we have so many other things that we've got going on. You can see Varian and I again next on Thursday morning on the Breakfast Buzz at 9 a.m. here on Indie Volt. Then on Sunday morning at 9 a.m., I do the Sunday Funnies. And if you haven't seen that program, we've had some great shows the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've had an interview with Trina Robbins. We've had a 2-part show about Arrow Comics 4.0, where we talked about Arrow Comics' place in history and the books that we have coming up. Then last week we had Roland Mann and Rob Davis and a few other, Brian K. Morris and Glenn Fleming. We were all on talking about comics. It was a great discussion, a lot of fun. That's the Sunday Funnies at 9 a.m. Every Sunday. So this Sunday, I have no idea what we're going to do, but it'll be just as fun. So, and
very good.
Other than that, just happy to be part of the Indie Volt Radio Network.
And of course, I'm Varian Grant, KYD_V on Twitter, Varian Grant on every other social media network. LastCallComics.com is a publishing company I co-own. LEDG.us if you want to get your independent comic book in stores. I own that company too. I can help you do it. Getting your books in stores is what I live to do. You can tell the happiness in my voice when I say that. No, it's actually pretty cool. It's the next step. It's the next step, and we're really we got a lot of cool ideas and a lot of cool features over there. We got a number. You can call me tomorrow if you want to talk about it. If you got questions, feel free to. It's an 800 number. It's free for you to call that. We'll talk about how I can help you get that done. In the meantime, though, here at Indie Volt, if you got a question like our good friend Taylor G did, you can send that question in to Indie Volt Live at indievolt.com. Include Indie Volt Live in the subject field, and please keep that email to 90 words or less so I can put it on that little card that everyone was reading earlier. And thank you for the people listening right now. 441 listening right now on Indie Volt Radio. You too can be a part of that number by downloading the Indie Volt Radio app on Google Play, or if you have iOS, downloading it on Streamer and other radio apps that they have on iOS. You can download you can listen to Indie Volt Radio. You can do that also by asking Alexa to play Indie Volt Radio for you. And or going to indievolt.com, and there is a player right there on our website that lets you listen in live as well. If the radio isn't your thing, and there's maybe you get tired of listening to music, because we play 24 hours. We play music and talk shows much like this on Indie Volt Radio. But if you want to watch TV, we got you covered there too. Indie Volt TV on Roku or Roku-enabled devices. You can check us out there. There are some long-form Indie Volt shows like this, but there's independent movies up there, some independent wrestling matches. We got some original series coming very soon. I'm going to be announcing one within 2 weeks that we're really excited about. So, and I'm very nervous about as well, because I got a chance to write it. So that's going to be freaky for me. But yeah, so excited about that.
This will be the first production from Indie Volt Studios.
It will be. And I'm very nervous about it. So, man, keep me in your prayers. Wow. Until then, guys, you guys, thank you for watching. You guys keep reading indie comics. We'll keep making them. Try to remember, leave this industry a little bit better than you found it.
Please.
We'll see you later.
Let me take us out. Let me take us out.
Go ahead, sir. Good night.
Everybody take care. Stay healthy. See you soon.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Bye, Jack. We really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wayne?
No horse shit, Jack.
No horse shit.